Hero's Crest by Robert Hazelwood and Jared Smith. In the beginning of our story, there is a man, an old man, who lived in his library. It wasn't a clean place. It definitely wasn't a neat place. But he was happy that way until one day he said enough. He would love to be one of the few people with a clean library, especially since it was the only library in town. He decided to clean, like I said, and then while he was cleaning and sweeping the dirt from under the rug, he noticed a shining metal object of some sort. He picked it up, and all of a sudden, it started to pull this. And then he looked at it a little more carefully, and he saw it was a key. He thought it might be a key to a locked book he had in his library. You can never know. But all of a sudden, the key started to be pulled from him. Then it drug him with it, and they reached the locked book, and the key flew into the lock. And all of a sudden, whoosh, the book had opened, and then all of a sudden, he fell back. He was knocked out, and he woke up in this strange building, and he smelt the smell of delicious pastries. He he sat up, rubbed his eyes, and looked around. There's an old woman sitting there on a chair, a dusty chair actually, and she says, "Good morrow to thee. How was your nap, Beowulf?" And I replied, "What did you just call me?" "Well," she said, "I called you your name, husband." "Wait, what? I am not married," I said. "You're silly. You must be really tired from your last adventure," she said. I looked out the window and saw a ginormous ship. And she said, "Ah, you must remember your trip with Captain Ahab." "You mean the famous Captain Ahab from Moby Dick?" "Yes," she said, in a harsh, but yet at the same time sweet voice. And there appeared a huge barge of some sort with a whale underneath it.
Wait, what? How can this be? But all of a sudden, I heard the flap of dragon wings.
In the confusion, I ran out the door, and I looked around. Everyone was running, but all of a sudden, fire flew past my face. And then I turned around to get away from this blazing inferno. The bow and arrow was pointed at me. I ducked, pulled out my sword, sliced the bow and arrow in half, and just knocked this guy down. I ran as fast as I could to get to the edge of the town, but all of a sudden, this little gingerbread man confronted me. I said, "Do you know who you mess with?" He said, "Yes, I know your name, Beowulf. Let's see what you're made of." As we dueled almost to the death, I kicked him to the ground, and I kept going and going. I ran into the woods until I knew I was safe. And then, behind me, there was a pack of wolves. As I heard a breeze uh, fly by, it sent shivers down my spine. And only then did I realize that it was all a dream, and therefore I could control this madness. And so I turned the wolves into tiny, miniaturized unicorns. I woke up all of a sudden, looking around to make sure there were no miniaturized unicorns. I was safe, at last, from a horrible nightmare. But the real question to me was it really a nightmare? Or was it reality? and I had just escaped.